Morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here. It's great to see you again. Fall is finally in full force, and the foliage is beginning to look spectacular. I just love the calico quilt effect on the mountains outside my window during this time of the year. All the reds, yellows, golds, oranges, uh, even deep burgundies and purples are such a part of this time of the year. And it is probably my favorite season. One of my favorite things to do when the leaves start to fall is to go for a walk on my favorite trail, which is in among the trees, and kick my feet through the rustling leaves. Today, I had some errands to run before I popped on to chat with you a little bit. And what I noticed today, for some strange reason, and they're always there, I just don't always pay as obvious attention to them as I did this morning, was how many signs there are along the way to guide me in my journey, whatever my journey may be, and help me to successfully complete whatever task that I may have laying before me. And that got to thinking, me to thinking a little bit about my TOPS journey. And so I thought I'd share my top 10 signs, tips, if you will, on trying to stay on the path to get me to the successful outcome I desire in this journey of living my best and healthiest life. Traveling along this road to success certainly requires diligence. And I'm going to offer these suggestions just to help maybe in you mapping out your path to overall health and wellness as you go forward. Because one of the things I have learned is that we have to find what works best for us, what will get us best to where we want to go, and that we may, in fact, have to alter that path more than once as we continue on the journey. So with that in mind, I guess the first one is the same one I used when my kids were little, and that is buckle up. Always wear your seatbelt when traveling in a motor vehicle. And the same applies in your TOPS journey. Buckle up. Make sure that you are in your safest place and you are protected in your journey. To me, that means trying to filter out some of the quackish, gimmicky claims that are out there bombarding us at every turn, and to make sure that what we lock into is something that is going to be appropriate for us, to talk with our doctors and get their advice and support and guidance, because each of us is different physiologically, and what may work for one person may actually do harm for another. Number two, as a tip, a sign, if you will, to keep in mind as you're traveling along on your journey is extinguish it. Put out the fire. I know you'll see this often in public places, at gas stations, different places in the community where there are possibilities for combustion to occur spontaneously with just a little spark. And the other thing is, of course, concerned smoking. And I can tell you, as someone who did smoke many, many years ago, it is best to not smoke anything. Just don't add that to the list of things that you have to deal with, and to make sure that you are cautious about not starting any fires unbeknownst to you, or a meaning that might do harm to not only yourself but to others. So always keep on hand that glass of water to put out the fire, if in fact the fire can be extinguished by water, because some things can't be. I remember as a young mother, when I was first learning to cook for my family, I made the mistake of throwing water on oil. that I had in a pan, and the result could have been totally disastrous if I had not quickly realized what I had done and immediately smothered the flame. So buckle up and extinguish it are two signs that definitely guide me as I go through my everyday journey. The next one is waste removal. Now you're probably thinking like I am, well, it's time to set the garbage out. Who's going to take it up to the curb? Well, there's also managing your waistline that is a consideration as well. And one of the things I really find helpful to me is the clothing that I wear. I try very hard not to wear around the house every day clothing that is elastic or stretchy. Rather, I like to wear things like blue jeans that have a set-on waist that you have to button, because they will keep you honest. It's hard to lie to a pair of blue jeans when you're putting them on. They don't give that much, and they do keep you on track. So waste removal is something that is definitely in my bailiwick of tools that I use and signs that I heed. It can also apply to removing from temptation the wasteful calories, the empty calories that lay around the house that you can nibble on without thinking or even being aware, that will impact, in fact, the circumference of your waist, which is, hopefully you're looking to decrease the size of your waist a little bit, if at all possible. The next thing in relation to that is use premium fuel. I know when I pulled into the gas station today, they had, the signs up for the different prices for the different types of gasoline. And I picked the one most appropriate to fuel the engine in my car, and filled up the tank. And as I was doing so, I was sort of thinking, premium fuel, right? How do I fuel my body? Am I fueling it with fast food? Am I fueling it with fatty food? Am I fueling with a lot of heavily processed foods, or am I trying to use natural foods with very few additives to fuel my body as cleanly and healthily as possible, so that I can burn efficiently when I am eating, and be able to use it most appropriately and quickly for the needs that my body has? So using premium fuel is my fourth tip to you. When you're choosing what you're going to eat during the day, try to pick the best and leave the rest. The fifth tip I'd like to share with you is accelerating. And as I was driving the car around, I was in and out of traffic, so I didn't really have much time to accelerate. It was more stop and go traffic. But when I finally was able to get out on the open road a little bit, it felt so good to be able to accelerate. Even a little bit of exercise helps your car run better, blows the carbon out, helps clean out the engine, helps it run more efficiently. Well, we're no different. To get out in the fresh air and move around a little bit is really, really helpful. It keeps the body flexible and everything functioning the way it should. So taking that bit of time to find some open road, if you will, to take a walk, to enjoy the scenery, to breathe in the fresh air, to up your pace a little bit, get your cheeks rosy. Soon we'll be able to even watch, in my area, the smoke from our breath as it gets colder. Which leads me again to another natural flow in this, and that is to get out and about. Spend at least 15 minutes outdoors each day for fresh air and for sunshine. Sunshine is a great source of vitamin D, and just breathing the fresh air in and out is exhilarating. It puts roses in your cheeks and a twinkle in your eye. And, these are great signs to see. When you see the sign for a park, if you have a few minutes, stop, get out, stretch, Walk about a little bit, appreciate the world as it is in its natural state, and just take a few brief moments to breathe in and out and be grateful for just being in the present. Number 7 in my tips for you to consider is to chart your course. Take time, and I like to do it at the beginning of each day, to review what my goals are for the day, what I would like to accomplish in this day, to collect my thoughts, maybe to even meditate for a little bit, to center myself, to establish a course of action that will enable me to complete those goals that I have set for myself. Uh, a lady told me once when we were talking about making a plan and then acting on the plan, she made the comment, which is very, very true. How do you know if you've gotten there if you don't know where you're going? And that's very true. Are you out just wandering about randomly in search of some goal that you've not really established yet? Or do you have a goal in mind and a plan to help you facilitate reaching that goal? Chart your course. Know, different points that you're going to benchmark and perhaps celebrate as getting that far along the path. The path probably won't be straight. It'll probably have some loops and turns and maybe a few twists and uphills and downhills, but you will know that you're heading in the right direction if you have that plan in place and have charted your course. And you will also know if you're getting off track and can then begin to adjust and get yourself back on the path that you want to be on. My 8th tip is to keep a clean vehicle. I actually am pretty good at doing that. I don't like a lot of stuff in my car. I am one of those people that keeps a bag in the car to throw trash and stuff in, and then I take it in the house and empty it when I get out of the car. I just feel better when I don't have a lot of extra debris and clutter around me in the car. And there was a time when it wasn't like that, especially when I was doing chauffeur service for the neighborhood kids, and I wouldn't do it until the weekend. And oh my goodness, how much extra work it was to wait till the weekend to clean out the contents of 6 or 7 little kids in and out of the car for a week. So I learned that it's actually more efficient for me to keep a clean vehicle than it is to wait and let stuff accumulate and then clean it out all at once. But even beyond that, as far as keeping a clean vehicle is concerned, nurturing good relationships with our families and our friends and those people who are going to support us in our journey is another way of making sure that there are no unforeseen obstacles or debris that can derail us in our journey. Positive interaction really helps extend our life, improve our health, and definitely increase our happiness. And that's all part of keeping that vehicle clean, not letting things fester and get out of control. If there's a disagreement, just face it kindly and with compassion and understanding, work through it and move forward and continue loving each other as you go along the way. We all need support and help from our friends as we move forward. The 9th tip that I would share with you on your path to success that you might find useful is to stay on the road. Believe in yourself and those people who are trying to help and support you. Have faith that you will succeed despite any obstacles along the way. Don't be sidetracked by signs that may say, oh, go here and do it now without any work or effort on your part. We know that sign isn't accurate, and it's going to lead you down a path you may not wish to travel. So stay on the road that you have mapped out for yourself and go with people you know that have your best interest at heart and want to help you to succeed in what you have set out to accomplish for yourself. And the last one, the last tip I would give you is one that we all, I think, once we arrive at our destinations, wonder about is doing appropriate maintenance. My best gift that I was ever given, I had no control over. And that was the gift of my life and my body. And I try to remember that this body is a gift to me. And I am ultimately responsible for my own health and wellness. Nobody can take care of me usually any better than I can take care of me. And that's my responsibility. Is I was given one body and one life to live, and I want it to be as enduring and beneficial as long as it possibly can be. I want to be able to nourish this body that houses me as I travel through the amount of days I have yet to go in this journey. And so proper maintenance is required for this. It just won't happen if I ignore routine checkups. If I don't pay attention to warning signs that sort of like alert lights that come on within my body that I need to go in for a tune-up. And I think that if all of us will assemble a top 10 list for ourselves that's personalized to us to empower us on our journeys of success, they will continue for many, many wonderful, exciting years yet to come. And for me, one of the best things about every morning is waking up on the right side of the dirt and seeing the sun shine and getting out and about and being able, hopefully, to help somebody else along their way in their journey. So I'm going to close now, let you go, and I'm hoping my very best that you're going to have a wonderful time developing your path of success today, and we'll be out and about, and we can wave at each other as we look for signs to help us along the way. Talk to you later. Bye for now.